Here we go again. If this not a coon, I don't know what a coon is. Here we go. Just hear this.
That concept of being the only really prepared me to be the only black nurse at Gillette.
Well, one nurse at Gillette Children's is using her position to do so much more than amplify health equity.
Fox 9's Mary McGuire tells us how Tammy Sinkfield-Morey has created workshops highlighting the importance of race, gender, and socioeconomic status in healthcare.
Growing up, Tammy Sinkfield-Morey was the only black student in her elementary and middle schools. 20 years ago, she was faced with a similar experience, becoming the first black nurse to ever work at Gillette's Children's Hospital in St. Paul.
That concept of being the only really prepared me to be the only black nurse at Gillette. I embraced it, and I knew that was going to be an opportunity to help change that landscape for the people we care about.
One traumatizing
That's a coon.
encounter in her early days as a nurse changed everything. Tammy was caring for a sick child, but one of their family members did not want her in the room.
That grandfather was very racist, and I think that was the first time
She was still willing to help. Insane.
that I had been called the N-word to my name.
It was then she decided to change the landscape.
Hand joining hand. The wicked would not be unpunished. Look at her. She won't help us, but she'll help them. Look at her. Oh, child.
Landscape and dedicate her life to harnessing the power of stories to combat prejudices and stereotypes.
It was that situation that really led me to that place where you have to know where everybody's coming from. We have to know the story.
In
Oh, Slakia. You missed it.
the wake of George Floyd's murder
Let me go right here.
to combat prejudices and stereotypes.
It was that situation.
Look at the stuff on the shelves. Hood feminism. I cannot. Look at that there. Hood feminism. So you know she hates the so-called black mom. She will help you die.
That really led me to that place where you have to know where everybody's coming from. We have to know
I know
the
where you're
story.
coming from.
In the wake of George Floyd's murder, Tammy curated and led salons,
You little
intimate
fat
sessions
women.
where people could talk honestly and freely about racism.
Within that first month, first month of June, we hosted 8 salons.
Tammy's work is not only impacting her coworkers, but patients too. She's also using her position to make sure everyone, regardless of their race or gender, receives great, equitable health care.
What it's done is it showed other nurses of color that we can lead change and we can be the change we want to see.
Now, Tammy does plan to expand the concept of story care salons into more communities. She's currently applying for a grant through the University of Minnesota to make that all happen. Reporting in the newsroom, Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
Salawat.